Now, our last story, naku, baka ito yung may tanim na samahan loob. A wedding toast to my bully. Stan C tells us about how he escaped from being trapped in the memories of being a victim of bullying. Magandang gabi, Stan!
Magandang gabi, everyone. Thank you, Sir John, for that intro. It's very accurate because like you, isa rin po akong magsasaka at nagtatanim din po ako ng sama ng loob.
But I am not a surgeon, ha? Hindi ako surgeon kasi actor ako. So I'm not a surgeon. John na lang.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know where to start because this what I'm about to do is I'm about to unpack like 20 years worth of trauma, and I don't take it lightly. The reason why I wanted to share this even is because I don't think I ever escaped from that experience. The theme natin tonight is being locked down, and honestly, being locked down being locked down at home in the longest lockdown in the world, snaps to the Philippine government, is nothing compared to being locked down in the prison that is your brain. I was bullied growing up, obviously based on the intro, and I was bullied by a lot of kids, because kids are horrible. Kids can be very mean, and they bullied me for a variety of reasons. They bullied me because I was frail. They bullied me because of my name. They bullied me because I liked hip hop growing up, because I loved Eminem. I was a stan before stans were ever a thing. They bullied me because I liked Yao Ming, the NBA player. They bullied me because I liked F4, the Taiwanese boy band. And one of my bullies, let's call him Archie. Let's give him a name. Let's call him Archie. And Archie was the guy. Archie thought that the world revolved around him. He was the type of guy who was in a band, who in high school decided to be buff and guapo so that, he wouldn't be a target. He was smart and athletic, and he was a ladies' man. And Archie was one of my bullies. Now, I never got over it because I was always the type of person who wanted some form of justice for myself. And I don't think I ever got that. Whenever I tell my parents about the bullying, they'd always say that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I hate to say this, but my parents were wrong, because the sticks and stones will bruise you and bruises heal. But when words hurt, they stick with you forever. So fast forward to 2019, and I was browsing on Facebook one night, and I saw that my bully had gotten married. It was the happiest moment of his life, and his friends were all posting congratulations on his wall and all that. They were posting pictures. And because I am very, very petty, I decided to go on social media, and I went to Twitter, where I tweeted the following words, and I quote, tonight my bully is getting married. It's the happiest day of his life. I don't wish him well, but I wish that, or I hope that he treats his wife with respect and love and all that good stuff. Also, I hope that he chokes on his wedding cake. And I decided to tweet that because wala lang. I didn't name him. I didn't identify him. Apparently, it got to him. And it pissed him off. And it ruined what should have been the best night of his life, when all of his friends would go up and deliver best man speeches and all that crap, where they would talk about him as such an upstanding guy. And it got to him, and he got mad. And his first reaction was to go to the Viber group chat of his high school class, which had some of my close friends in it. And he unleashed a series of epithets towards me. He called me homophobic slurs in 2019. He and his friends started talking among themselves, started making subtweets, and started posting on Facebook, saying things like, if you will always treat yourself like a victim, then you will always be a victim. And it boggles my mind that this guy and his friends come to his defense. That this guy maintains his innocence and washes his hands of everything, saying that was so long ago. You should have gotten over it by now. When you hurt someone, it is not up to you to tell that person how and when they should move on. You don't have that right. You waive that right the moment you exercised your free will to cause pain on someone else. And I carry that pain with me every day. I've channeled it through so many different ways. I became a bully myself. And I became a bully because I lived by the philosophy in Survivor, the reality show. And as long as it's not me, put the target on someone else. And I regret every single thing I did to pass that pain on to someone else because I have all these unresolved issues on my own. And all these people would say, mag-move on ka na. Why haven't you moved on? It's been X years. But that's the thing. Until you go through such trauma, until you go through these things, you'll never know how it's like to carry that pain with you and resolve that. The problem was that I never had anyone stick up for me. I never had a friend who stood up and said, that's wrong, stop picking on him. I never had a teacher who came to my defense. I was too weak-willed to stand up for myself. It wasn't until adulthood when I gained the courage to come forward and to speak up about these things. Backlash be damned. And I lost one of my closest friends, a friend of over 25 years, because he took Archie's side. He was the guy who said, if you always play the victim, then you will always be the victim. And that is something that hurts over a year from now, having passed. See, it's kind of like being a victim of a human rights abuse, right? Martial law victims, they speak up about their reality. And when people tell them to move on, nagagalit tayo. Nagagalit tayo because it's not up to the people, to the apologists, to tell them to shut up and move forward. In the same way that it's not up to Archie and his friends to tell me to move on and to move forward. I've had people tell me that I should forgive because that's what God wants me to do. And I believe in God, and I believe that my God is a forgiving God. But I'm not God. I'm just a human. And I choose not to forgive because I choose to be angry. And I choose to be angry because no one was angry on my behalf. And my anger is my way of protecting myself, protecting my younger self from the injustice that took place, from the pain that I felt, and protecting my current self from any future instances of this pain happening again. And I understand what this all means. I understand that it means that I'm trapped in this wall of, in this box of pettiness and anger and hatred. And I long for the day when I can step out of it. But until then, and because I know that these people are incapable of apologizing and taking accountability for their actions, until then, I protect myself from all of these things by staying angry and by coming forward and talking about this. Because it's not up to you to tell me how to move on. I move on when I want to, and I will damn sure move on how I want to. In 1997, the post-grunge band Creed came out with a song called My Own Prison, and the hook goes, I cry out to God seeking only his decision. Gabriel stands and confirms I created my own prison. And I believe that I am in my own prison, and that is a lockdown far longer than the longest lockdown in the world. I don't know how to end it. I don't know how to get out of it. And I wish there was a happy way to end tonight and to end this sharing, you know. But it's my way of saying that we're all locked down in our own way, and we go at it at our own pace. And to everybody who's ever cared about this prison I place myself in, I'm trying. But until then, let me do my thing. Let me speak out. Because this is my way of getting back at my bully. So cheers and F you.
Maraming salamat and cheers, Stancy. Yung cheers lang, I will not say the other thing you shared. to you. But thank you for opening your heart. Stan is a radio DJ, events host, podcaster, voice talent, and writer. At siya po ay naniniwala that if there is one reason he is here on this earth, it is to tell stories.